yeah, that's awesome. So these kids today will never understand what it was like growing up in my day. Now, I know that makes me sound like a complete old fart, and that's what the people that grew up in the 50s and 60s would tell me when I was a kid, but now I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and I'm like saying the same thing, which is just a process of getting old when you start complaining about the next generation. I'm almost there. I mean, there's plenty of stupid stuff this next generation does. Listen, my generation did stupid stuff when I was a kid, too. It's fine. But we had a struggle that I don't think the kids today can ever even understand. Well, first of all, I've said before, I grew up poor. We didn't have much, but the one nice thing we actually had, it was a one piece of technology in our house, was a Nintendo, the original NES, Nintendo Entertainment System, right? Whatever you called it. We called it Nintendo because that's what people back then called it. We didn't have many games, and the only reason we had it is because my cousin asked for an Atari from my grandmother for Christmas, and she accidentally bought a Nintendo instead of an Atari. And then we went to her house one time and started playing it, and she's like, why don't you just take it home with you? I was like, yeah, that's awesome. The problem, though, growing up in the 80s and 90s as the little brother, my older brother is 8 years older than me. The problem was we didn't really have control over anything that was put forth in front of us. And I'll explain that a little bit. We would have to go to my parents, because back then you had to ask, can I watch TV for a while, or can I play the Nintendo or whatever? Can I go to a friend's house? You'd have to go to the parents and you'd ask. And my mom's response was always pretty much the same thing. It was either you can play till your dad gets home, you can play a half hour or an hour. That's it. That's all we ever got. And typically play till your dad gets home was something where he's about to pull in the driveway and it's just play until he gets home, but don't let him catch you wasting your day when he gets home. Because as a dad now, I can see, if I get home and my kids are doing nothing and I just busted my ass all day, that's kind of insulting. So I get what mom's doing there. But nonetheless, as the little brother, I would have a problem because my brother would get Mario. Super Mario Brothers, first one. He would play as Mario because he's the big brother, and that's just the advantage of being the big brother. You get to play as Mario. Little brothers had to stick with the green hat guys, and I had to be Luigi. But my brother was really good at the game, right? He would play through without using warp zones, and he'd get to level 5 or 6, 5-1, 6-1, something like that, and still be playing. And then finally run into a turtle or something and die. And then I'd finally get to play. And then I get on the thing and I get my controller and I get to play finally. I'm all excited. Little 6-year-old me, he pushes to the right and I'm going across that thing and I run into the first mushroom guy. And then my brother would play again and he'd get to play for a while again. And then the half hour, the hour, or dad would show up or something and I wouldn't get to play anymore. And I would always, but mom, I didn't get to play. I didn't get a turn. And she was always, yelling at my brother. And then my brother would just turn to me and get better. Which is good life advice and something I've stuck with ever since then. It's probably the best advice anybody could give is just get better. I don't know if that's true or not, but anyway. Anybody else out there have an obsession with Luigi because you grew up with Mario issues? I don't think I'm alone. We should start a club or something. Anyway, let me know in the comments if you got similar stories. That's all I got today, y'all. Be good. Catch you later.